a force unbroken, with banners high and hearts awoken. The sound of pipes, our war is calling. Like thunderous waves, our duty is falling. Stand tall, together we fight, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our death. In unity our hearts shall sing the legacy of warriors through every reign. With battle cries we forge our fate, in fields of valor we elevate. As shadows loom, our spirits gleam. Brothers in arms, we are the dream. Fearless, we take the night, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our death. In unity, our hearts shall sing the legacy of warriors through every reign. As dawn breaks, we know our name.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Nighthawk's Music Hour. And we're going to do it a little different tonight. It's not just going to be about the music. We're going to talk a couple different subjects tonight. Going to get into the disclaimer, and then I'm going to get in and say hello to everybody in the chat if I can. If we lose power, I'll tell you all right now, there's been some weird shit happening with me lately, okay? I had to cancel a podcast this past Sunday because I was basically coughing up and vomiting up blood. So it took a toll on me. And all I've been trying to do these last couple of days is just lie down and do nothing. But, you know, and I've succeeded in getting a little better now. So that's why we're on tonight. I don't know what the bleeding is caused from. It could have been just, you know, something I ate that went down and I don't know, hit some scar tissue or whatnot and re-injured something. I don't know, but it stopped. So I'm all good. It's like putting the super glue and swallowing it, you know, pretty much. I don't recommend it. That's not medical advice, by the way. But we're going to get into the disclaimer and we're going to talk about everything, and I'll get into the chat and say hello to everybody after the disclaimer. The copyright disclaimer is Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel and all the podcasts on the channel, including myself, one of the hosts and owner, declare fair use of any and all content to be used under the fair use, which is the Copyright Act of 1976, for purposes for fair use, such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, which we'll be talking about tonight, teaching, which we'll be doing a little bit tonight, scholarship, research, parody, which I always do. You know me. I'm a smartass. Sorry. And entertainment value. You definitely get that. Per Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. And boy, that just hurt. Anyways, that's the disclaimer. And YouTube, we use the Donna app for all of our intro and outro, and the UCut app for all of our video intro and outro and music. So we have full rights to our music and our videos that we put on this channel. Full legal rights. So that being said, I'm going to get this disclaimer down and I'm going to get into the chat and say hello to everybody real quick. And I'm going to go over some of the topics tonight too while we're saying hello to everybody. If I can get my computer to work. Okay. There's that. Wow, it says I've got 2 comments in the chat, and I'm looking right now. We probably have 30. Unbelievable. Anyways, and Joanne, good to see you. Urso, thank you for being here. Monisha, good to see you. I'm really glad you're here. Jason, you too. Very glad to see everybody. Freaky, good to see you. All right, who else we got? We got Tanya. Good to see you in there. I know Tracy's listening. Marcy, good to see you. Oh, let's see. Who else we got? Oh, there we go. We got Corey, my brother. Hey, all right, Corey, good to see you in here. I might bring you on too. You never know. In fact, that might be a good idea. Spur of the moment. See what you think about some of the subject matters tonight. I'm really curious to see what Freaky thinks about some of the subjects tonight too. So, Freaky, let me know. What's your? I want to know everybody's take on Elon Musk first off. Okay, what is your take and your sense, your reading about Elon Musk? Okay, I'll divulge where I want to go with this after I see a couple different you know scenarios in the chat. Okay. He's an odd individual with a lot of money. Well, yeah, that's the very that's the very description of him. Do you guys think that you know about synthetic beings? Okay, we've talked about this before. Synthetic beings are basically like an AI generated robotic with a synthetic skin over it, kind of like not a cyborg, but kind of, like a robot with human flesh on it. He has been acting a lot like that lately, almost like he's being driven to another direction. And then the current president kind of reeled him in a little bit and brought him back into the Oval Office, and and all that. Amy, good to see you. Exactly, and that's my point too. There, Freaky. That's the reason I brought that up. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. By the way, he described his group of, and it's not even really the wording of it, Freaky. I know the wording of it is kind of biblical, with the whole demons and all that type of a thing, and how they call themselves Legion and all that. But it's also the fact that he likened his creations kind of like, it started out like being almost like his child. You know what I mean? Like he was going to make just a few of them and see how it went. Now he's talking legions. Now, I don't know about you, but legions, Roman army, a legion was 5,000 men. Okay, 5,000 men. Okay. As he's describing what he's doing, he's using the terminology, but he's also likening it unto the Roman army, the military. Okay. So in that aspect, he's been talking a lot about. One minute he talks some sense, about how we shouldn't have to pay taxes, and about how we should be getting this money back, and how the government's overspending and all that. I understand all that, and I respect him for that. Okay, that set aside, okay, I question his motives now, because he has said a few things here lately that really triggers people to really think about it. The whole AI thing, okay, not just the robotics part of it, because the robotics part of it is just a percentage of it. Okay, it's the AI you got to worry about. Okay, it's the artificial intelligence, or as I like to call it, the Anunnaki intelligence. So that's just me, though. I'm crazy like that. Um, I don't know if I trust Elon. I don't know if he's. Yeah, Amy, he definitely, he just doesn't seem, it seems like he's changed a little bit. And, my oldest son and I were talking about this the other night. And, he brought, I brought up the fact that, most of these people that have been in politics for a while, or are predominant business people that are very wealthy and influential in our world, they always had something happen to their left eye. And I always, I was always under the impression, it's, I've been, researching it for years now. And, with the Queen, with the head of the World Economic Forum now, with Biden with his left eye. I've been researching it a lot, and the way it goes is they're talking about some kind of parasitic implant, and that's why the eye bruises up and why it turns black, for the demonic aspect of it, kind of like a possession, but through a parasitic. And then I started thinking about, they're putting this supercomputer in the underground in Texas. Okay. They're making all these robots and stuff and AI stuff out of Texas. He's launching rockets and recovering rockets out of Texas and Florida. And I think there's one other place. I can't remember where. I think it's in California. He might have closed that one up though because of all the crap there. But the taxes and stuff. It makes me wonder. He's got a plan. He's got something going on. The gears are turning in his head, just like in my head, 365 days a year, 24/7. I guarantee it. That man's mind does not rest. His body may sleep, but if he's like me in any aspect, his mind will not sleep. Okay. So his gears are constantly turning. He has got some kind of a plan involved, and it involves all of humanity, not just America. And that's where I believe we're being played. Bounty, good to see you. Glad you're here. Daryl, good to see you. Let's see who else is in here. Demaria, good to see you. All right. Let me see. I don't want to I want to make sure I get everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I stopped coughing up the blood and all that, so I'm doing okay. This is actually the first coffee I've drank since that happened to me. So I wanted to give what tubes I've got left going down into my gut, to a little bit of a break. Hey Larry, good to see you in there. All right. Let me see, Corey. What Corey's? First time I saw him interact with another person was like with Joe Rogan, and got nothing from him. Nothing bad, nothing good. Exactly. And that's my point. It's almost like he is a synthetic. Okay. I don't know how to describe it. It's like he's emotionless. When he's with his son, X, he tends to smile a lot and keep him close and all that, like a father should, being protective and all that, and proud. You see him smile when X speaks in his mind and stuff. But there's something completely off about the whole, not even mannerisms of it, just the whole presentation of his emotions, his personality. It's lacking something. It's like something was removed. When he was standing in the Oval Office talking, all those times in front of the camera, his personality shone through. Okay. And then all of a sudden, when 133 days are up, he's pulled out Apparently, that's the contractual time, 135 days, but he did it in 133. Apparently, something's changed. Something has definitely changed in him, and I can't put my finger on it. And I was wondering what everybody thought. David, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Let's see here. Who else we got in here? This Heifer, good to see you. All right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up, guys. You guys are really going. Unreal Estate Agent. Good to see you. I love that name. I'm sorry. I do. I love that name. That's awesome. Unreal Estate Agent. Oh my God. I love that. You made me laugh on real estate. That's good. Ida, good to see you. No, you're not late. You're never late. This is just one of those things. I was going to come on at 7 today, but I wanted to give myself a little bit more time before I came back on. Um, it is what it is. I've got this massive headache. So if I stop talking periodically and drink coffee, please don't think it's, you guys, because it's not, it's me. But I just, with the whole Elon Musk thing and the AI and the robotics thing, he almost acts like he went from being human to being synthetic in a very short time. And I just, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not noticing something, or maybe I'm noticing little bits and pieces and overanalyzing it. But I just don't know. I get this bad gut feeling now about him. And I didn't get that before. I didn't get that before at all. And I kind of wonder why now all of a sudden I'm getting that feeling, you know? So I just wanted to pick your all's brains about that a little bit. And also, I'm going to take a break here from talking and drink some coffee, but I'm going to play 2 new creations of songs for you. And they're more of a country western style. Okay. One's kind of a modern country western. And the other one, I guess, would be more like in the 80s and the 70s country, 2-step western. Okay. So I'm going to play both of those and tell me which one you think. Okay. Number 1 will be the more modern country music. And then the second play of it will be the 2-step kind of a tempo beat. Okay. And I'm just curious to see what you all think. Okay. So that's all this is for. Okay. I want to know which one I should keep and which one I should say bye-bye to. So give me 1 second. I'm going to drink some coffee. Robin, good to see you. And I'll play these real quick, and then we'll get back into the topic, okay? Hold on a second, guys. My music is not working. And I don't know why. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll get this figured out if it kills me. No, it's not going to kill me, okay? So give me 1 second. Oh, that's what it was. Didn't have internet on the phone, so I couldn't do the Bluetooth connection. Let me try it now. Huh. What is going on? I don't know what's going on with this thing. No, I don't want to transfer that. Let me figure this out. Hold on. Okay, we'll try it one more time. Oh, come on. Well, I don't know what's going on, guys. Hold on a second here. I've never had that problem before. Let me close this out and reopen it again. Yeah, all the...
In the skies where angels sing. In the dead of...
Wait a minute. Are you kidding? What's going on with this system here? Hold on. Technical problems. Yeah, I know you're on. Okay. All right, let's try this again.
In the skies where angels sing, thunder rolls and the heavens ring. Drums pounding, they shake in the ground. Electric violins play a haunting sound. A clash of fate, in the light they battle, with guitars wailing, the echoes rattle. Oh, the supernatural war we face in the valleys between a sacred place. Tunes of the battle, love will transcend. With every note, our spirits mend. Wings of fire in the midst of the storm. The warriors strike, their spirits warm. Under the stars, a celestial fight, as victory dances in the glow of night. Heaven's call, a celestial choir. In this war, hearts ablaze with fire. Oh, the supernatural war we face in the valleys between a sacred place. Tunes of the battle, love will transcend. With every note our spirits mend, as drums fade and silence grows, we find the peace that only heaven knows.
There's the steel guitar, so that was the number one. Okay, that's the number one. That's the more modern country music. More of the I guess the next one. The only way I can describe the next form of this song that I created was more of like an old 1980s two-step beat. You know what I mean? Of the country. So we'll get that playing here for you, and I'll see what you think. But you know what? I might want to turn the volume down a little bit on this one. So let me get some comments up here too. At least that's not a mad face, Freaky. Thank you, Monisha. Yeah, that guitar was pretty good on that one. Sorry, guys. Still got that cough. This one is, like I said, it's more of an 80s style country, so be prepared to do your boot scoot boogie.
In the skies where angels sing, thunder rolls and the heavens ring, drums pounding, bass shaking the ground, electric violins play a haunting sound. A clash of fate, in the light they battle, with guitars wailing, the echoes rattle. Oh, the supernatural war we face, in the valleys between a sacred place. Tunes of the battle, love will transcend. With every note, our spirits mend. Wings of fire in the midst of the storm, the warriors strike, their spirits warm. Under the stars, a celestial fight, as victory dances in the glow of night. Heaven's call, a celestial choir, in this war, hearts ablaze with fire. Oh, the supernatural war we face, in the valleys between a sacred place. Tunes of the battle, love will transcend. With every note, our spirits mend. As drums fade and silence grows, we find the peace that only heaven knows.
All right. Yeah, I saw that on real estate. That picture is pretty much a common depiction of what people have been encountering with the dog man. Um, I think there's a lot more to the whole dog man thing than what we know to be. Because I know from doing ceremony when I was younger to protect certain sacred sites, like the Black Hills, burial grounds, burial mounds, and stuff, places where our people were slaughtered and buried in mass graves. We did a lot of dark ceremonies to protect those lands and to keep people off of them that weren't of the bloodline that died there. Okay. So some of those encounters are definitely supernatural because we called them forth to protect the land. Okay. I've done that myself in my younger days, and I know for a fact other not so willing to help out humanity, friendly medicine people have done the ceremony too. So I was just going to leave it at that. Okay. Um, but I do believe that there is a percentage of them that are physical because we have legends coming down from parts of Canada, the Yukon Territory, the Nahanni Valley, of tribes of these dogmen people. In fact, there are even maps that are depicting dogmen people with Bigfoot people. So if we, and we're talking ancient maps. So, I mean, I don't know how much more proof the world needs that these things exist, but they exist in a physical realm, a certain percentage of them, and then they exist in a supernatural type of a way, a certain percentage of them. And then who knows what the government and the military industrial complex has done with the DNA of them. They could have made some themselves very easily. Okay. So that being said, we got to remember that don't trust your government. Okay. You can't, not 100% anymore. Let's see here. Let me get to some more of these comments. Why doesn't that surprise me, Ursa? Okay, number 2. Okay. Okay, let's see. Number 2 works for you too. Okay, that's 2. That's 3. Maria, good. Okay, that's 3 for number 2. Okay, freaky. Number 2. Everybody's saying number 2. Okay. Hey, Woo. Good to see you in there, Woo. Been a long time. It's always good to have you in the chat. Anybody else picking 1 or 2 in that? Oh, well, that's not really an artifact. You see, here, let me move the camera. These, well, I mean, I guess they are artifacts, but let me give you a better look at them, Jason, just so you know. This is a Bigfoot dogman rattle. It has Bigfoot on one side, and on the other side of the gourd, it has the dogman. Okay, and it's real. I mean, it's a real rattle. Okay, I have it tacked up there right now to keep it up and off the floor and off the table. And then I've just got eagle feather here, and this is my medicine hoop. And if you know, that's from ceremony. So, and then I've got my medicine staff here with the sweetgrass on it and the sacred colors and the eagle plume. And then behind me, or up there actually, I've got a 3D printout that David in the chat did for me of the big Bigfoot that I had a very, very close relationship with, almost too close as a kid. But it's up there. I'll show you that in a second. And then I've got the first one that I physically had an encounter with, which I believe was a female from a distance, but David made me this one too. Now, when I saw the first Bigfoot, it was standing sideways with its arms up into the tree, and there was a little one with it, probably about 3 feet tall. So it was a young'un. So that's how I either it was an older sibling to that one, or it was the mama. I couldn't tell from the distance I was at, but I know what I saw. And I interacted with them, that whole family of them, quite frequently growing up. So especially when I was out hunting, because I would have to always like take some kind of like gift to let me hunt and not disturb my hunt. Because growing up, I kind of disturbed their hunts, and the big one kind of let me know that the first time I had a run-in with them. So that's why, after we cleared that disaster outcome out, yeah, it was quite interesting. I'm going to pull that one down too, David, so they can see that you made me. David's probably bored to death with these, but this is the second one that I saw. This was the daddy, the big guy. And he was every bit built like that. Okay, every bit. I can't believe the detail that David did for me on this. Even the back. Just massive. Literally massive. This was the second encounter I had. And I know he was the alpha. He threw a branch the size of a small tree at my motorcycle, my dirt bike, when I was riding in the woods one day. And it lodged in the front spokes of my wheel. And I did an endo in my motorcycle. And ended up wrecking and having to push the bike off of me as it burnt my leg. Still got the burn on my leg. And as I pushed the motorcycle off of me and turned the fuel off, I looked up, and there he was. And he was just looking at me. At first, he was just looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? This is my woods, And then his concern and stern look, I call it stoic. My dad had the same look, by the way. Oh, yeah. And anyways, his stoic look went from that to basically a shit-eating grin, because he got the best of me. But he knew I was young, so he didn't do it to kill me or to harm me in any way. He wanted to scare me and to shut me up, and he did. I didn't go back there for a while. So, and the last time I saw him, I was in that area. I just got done doing Humblacia Vision Quest, and something told me to walk out to the stream, the creek, and put my bare feet in it and look down into the water between my feet. And I did that. And in the water, let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to show you because I'm not going to pull it out of my medicine bag. But I have it in my medicine bag. In the water between my feet was a black obsidian spearhead. And I'm guessing he gifted it to me, because when I looked down and I saw it, I let out the war whoop. We all do it when we're young. It's like when the women do the warrior, whoop for them, when they're riding out and, on horseback and stuff, or coming back into camp. Um, I let out the war whoop, and I heard a big snap over to my right on the other side of the creek. Inside the tree line, I could make out this huge silhouette. And this whole huge silhouette was like 9 feet tall, and he was big and broad. And I knew right then and there it was him. And because I had encountered him a lot growing up. And basically it was quite the thing. I couldn't really tell if he was smiling, but he knew I was happy with the gift. And I knew that he gave it to me, that he gifted it to me. Because for some reason, we were on this, I don't even know what to call it, almost like a mind link, like our spirits connected. And by my growing up, being around them and interacting with them every now and then throughout my whole childhood, they grew to basically look at me as family, I guess. So they imprinted on me and I imprinted on them. It happens. It happens all the time. Wolves do it. We had a pet wolf growing up. My dad did. And her name was Sandy. And Sandy was man, there was this Irish setter that used to live next door to us. And this Irish setter used to come out of the house and torment Sandy to death, just barking and growling and staying out of reach of the chain. So when Sandy got mad and took off, she would hurt herself basically by jerking herself back full force on the chain and falling on her back. Now, mind you, our wolf stood over 6 feet tall on its hind legs. Okay. She was every bit of 140 pounds. She was a big wolf. Okay. And she was protective of me, especially, and of my dad, because we were the ones that took care of her. And anyways, one day after that happening a couple times, Sandy got it upon herself to think logically about it. And this shows you how smart wolves are. She backed off of her chain about 4 feet, okay, and laid down. And she didn't move that entire day because she knew when a certain time of the day that Irish setter would come running out, okay? Well, and I don't like any animals getting hurt. Anybody that knows me knows that, okay? So please don't think that I'm happy that this happened, because I wasn't, But when she backed off the chain and laid down, this Irish setter came running in and didn't realize that Sandy wasn't laying at the length of her chain anymore. She was laying, further back. By the time the Irish setter realized that it had screwed up, Sandy had opened up that Irish setter from the back of the ear to almost the back of the tail. That's how pissed she was at this Irish setter. Okay. And yes, we got stuck paying the vet bill, but the dog lived. It didn't die. Okay. So just to let you know. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing what animals and wildlife can teach you. Okay. And I'm a firm believer that that's why the Creator gave us domesticated dogs and cats, because they can see things and sense things a lot better than what we as human beings can, unless we're gifted in a way, unless we have like a near-death experience or some kind of tragedy that really affected us, or a certain way we were raised in ceremonies and stuff, like I was too. And I had it all. I had it all. I mean, I had the ceremonies. I had the history of growing up with the paranormal and supernatural and cryptids. I had it all. I mean, I even had the UFO and the alien thing, to tell you the truth. So, and to this day, we still have it around here, In fact, I don't know if anybody in this area noticed today, but about 100 feet above the house today, a Hercules helicopter, dual-bladed helicopter, flew overhead, flying like a bat out of hell. So, and it looked like it was heading towards the presidential camp in Maryland. So that's just my theory on the flight direction that it was going. Okay, so Camp David is where I was thinking it was heading. So because they have a fallout shelter there, and it's all wired up, so you know. But I think you all heard today, this morning, that apparently a certain part of Russia was attacked. It wasn't good. There were several people that were unalived. Okay. And basically, the latest is that Moscow ordered some of their nuclear armament aimed at Washington, D.C. And they kept it hush hush for a while, but slowly it leaked on the internet, and the video got out of what, and you know, the mass casualty event got out about how many that died and how many were injured and all that. And it's never good when you lose respect for sanctity of life. And I think that is a big problem today. It's how many of you heard about the guy that did the voice for the Native American guy on King of the Hill? Okay. He lived in Texas. Okay. And he was part of the LGBTQ community. Okay. Which Native Americans, we don't really, I mean, we always, throughout history, we had occasionally had someone like that, but we called them special. It was almost like we deemed them as having a mental illness, and that's not me. That's not my opinion. Okay, so whatever you do in your private life is up to you. Okay, I don't care. I really don't. Okay, I just don't want to be a part of that lifestyle. That's just not me. Okay, but that doesn't mean I won't respect somebody if they treat me well and talk to me like I'm a human being. You know, that's the way we should be. You know, but anyways, apparently he was unalived because of extenuating circumstances relating to his choices in life. So, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. So, but yeah, there's all kinds of weird, crazy stuff happening. And it seems like that the more we get closer to coming up on, and I don't know how many of you remember me talking about or announcing that vision I had about September 28th. Okay. And how, when I looked at that date, I saw that date in my mind. I saw 9 days after that X'd out on the calendar. So it was like 10 days straight. Okay. And I almost liken that vision unto maybe 10 days of darkness that's coming. So September 28th, mark that on your calendar and just tell me if something weird happened, okay, in your area, or if our planet isn't blown up by then, okay? So that I would be interested in. Dead Wolf, good to see you. Let's see, who else we got in here? We've got looks like it's a tie on the music. Well, David, no, you want number 2 also. You said number 2. Okay. Looks like number 2 is in the lead for that song pick. I don't want to play it again. I'm not really a big country music fan, but I just did that to see what would happen. And that actually is a depiction of my voice from analyzing my broadcasts and stuff on StreamYard. AI figured out how to do my voice apparently and making it sound like I'm singing. So thought it was kind of cool. So yeah, you did an outstanding job too, David. To this day, that thing still gives me the chills, the big one. So I mean, I'm going to be buried with it. So so I mean, that's pretty much how I feel with that. That is the perfect representation of the alpha that actually looked out for me growing up. Um, I purposely used to jog late at night when I was a teenager, and I'd jog, probably 5, 6 miles out in the country along the country roads and stuff where I used to interact with them purposely so I could run into them because I knew that they were out that time of the night. And it was, 9:30, 10:30 at night, in the country. And, not too many people are out and about that time of the night. They're settling down for the day, and every now and then I would run into them, and from a distance, they would be like, "Oh, well, it's Bill." So, just let's keep on doing what we're doing. They didn't concern themselves with me. They really didn't. They knew that, and it's odd because they pretty much knew when I was sad, when I was upset, angry, when I was hurt, physically hurt. They knew, and it was really really odd how that connection was made. And I really think that it had something to do with some kind of a supernatural, on a spiritual level connection, kind of like when we imprint, when wolves imprint us onto them. Okay. And it's almost like in some of the dogmen encounters too that you see, it's almost like some of those dogmen encounters are imprinting on the people they have the encounter with, because sometimes they see them more than one or two times. The first time they may be acting aggressive towards you, but if you don't hurt them or go after them in any way, shape, or form or react harshly, maybe they just kind of just taken aback and thought, well, this person's got a good heart. Maybe they imprint. Wolves do it in the wild. I don't know why a dog man wouldn't do it. Just a thought, just a thought. Dogman encounters I had usually ran away from me, so probably because I was ugly. Oh God, that hurt. Oh, anyways. Oh, all right. I'm gonna play a couple more songs and give my voice box a break, guys. Okay. So I'm gonna play let's see. I did a couple. These next ones I did, one of them I called Jacob's Healing Song, and for my little fur buddy, Tracy's little boy, four-legged son, um, because he helped me through. Well, he still to this day helps me through all my cancer. Okay, and I love that little guy a lot. So the first one is called Believe, and it's set at 420 or 432 hertz. It's kind of a healing tune. And also the next one, the second one, is Jacob's Healing Song, which is also set for 432 hertz, which is the healing frequency. Okay. So the first one's just a regular 432 hertz. And the second one is, I kind of put a Spanish flair with it, with guitar on it. So I think you'll like it. But I'm going to play these. and put a picture up so you guys can watch and I can get something to drink here. Okay. Oh, here, let's put something a little bit more appropriate. How about that? There we go. All right. The first one is called I Believe, and it's 432 hertz, and it's healing. And then the second one is Jacob's Healing Song, which is 432 hertz. That was the Believe song, which is the 432 hertz, which is the healing frequency. And now I'm going to play the one that I call Jacob's song, okay, which is the same frequency, but more of a Spanish type of a guitar flair, because he is part Chihuahua. I think you all can guess why I did that song that way for Jacob, to be named after Jacob, because of the Spanish guitar flair in it with the native flute. So it was kind of a good combination. So, hey, Eric, good to see you in the chat. Don, good to see you. Who else we got in here that snuck in here when I wasn't looking? I don't know how that fluffy guy can sneak in. That's something else. Sneaks in like a fart in church. Ghost Dragon. There's my brother. There he is. You all get a chance to follow him. Please do. Definitely do. Look him up. He is part of an up and coming, probably one of the best channels you're going to have. So I'll let him explain it in the chat, and if you want to drop a link too, let me know. Okay, I'll put a link up. That's no big deal. Or you can type a link up. It doesn't matter to me. Let's see. Let's see. What else we got? I think that's everybody. I didn't forget everybody. All right. Let's see. I don't see anybody else that's new in there. Let me see. No, doesn't look like it. Okay. Anyways, getting back to what I was talking about. I don't know if you all have had encounters with cryptids. If you have, then you probably know by now that there is an ability that they have to imprint on you. So don't be alarmed if it happens. I would rather have them imprint on you in a peaceful manner than to be angry at you and want you unalived in a manner. So let's put it that way, okay? So I think that most of the encounters, especially like when I had my bad encounter with the big guy the first time, with riding my dirt bike, my motorcycle through the woods and on the trails, I interrupted his hunting and he was teaching the younger ones how to hunt. So, that's my bad, So yeah, he got a little pissed off at me and he threw a branch the size of a small tree at me, and that was that. And that was the end of it. That's the last time that ever happened. So, we have to understand that when we're dealing with some of these cryptids, that they are so family oriented, and family is all that they feel the need to protect. Okay, and secondly would be like hunting grounds or places where they live. Okay, territory where they live. Those in that order is how they protect things. Okay, just like a wolf family would, just like a mama bear would protect her cubs. That's what they do. Okay, nature learns from nature, wildlife learns from wildlife. Okay, native people learned from it all. So, of course, they're going to learn from native people too over the years. That's why you see a lot of these structures. Okay. That being said, let's talk a little bit about energy. Griff, good to see you. Let's talk a little bit about energy. And I'll play a couple more songs after that, and then I'll get out of everybody's hair so they can have a good night and get some rest. So let me see here. Okay. I'm trying to find. All right. I've given up trying to keep up on. Yeah, the second one, Tanya, is the one that I named after Jacob, Tracy's little fur baby, my little buddy. He took me through a lot of dark places going through my cancers. So pulled me through it. Basically at a time when most people probably would have given up, he pulled me through it. So that meant the world to me. So, all right, let's see. What other songs do I have? All these songs too, you can go and you can find on the Donna app under me, whenever I post them on Facebook, and you can listen to them there or whatnot. I'm still not sure why they can't be downloaded. So that kind of disturbs me. All right. Energy, your chi, your force field, your force, the force, okay, from Star Wars, whatever you want to call it, okay, your aura. You can call it 100 different things. It's all the same, okay? There is a way that you can manipulate your energy field, okay? And people do it all the time without even realizing it, okay? And I'll show you here in a second what I mean by that. But there is several points on the human body that does specific things, okay? You have pressure points. You have your own human body has ley lines. Okay, your way you hold yourself and conduct your hands sends out signals to the universe around you, literally. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. All right, and here's one thing that I try to show everybody: the hand things. And I don't know how many of you saw the picture of President Trump that I circled with his hands, and Obama was sitting there with his hands in a cluster, just like this. Well, President Trump had his hands in a downward pyramid. Okay. That is a sign that you can see on here, which basically represents balance, wisdom, positivity, more of an influential thing for the person doing the signal. It's a way to conduct your energy. and ground it. So others messed up energy, like that picture showed, doesn't mess with yours. But people, you see, this is the thing. People don't understand that when you have somebody that is very sensitive to their energy, okay, their chi, and they go through and they do the tai chi, or they do the energy manipulation, and all that I teach with the hands, um and with you're manifesting your thought process. There's tests out there that basically, if you hold your arms outstretched at the side, okay, and somebody comes up and tries to push your arm down, and they can't do it because you're strong enough to resist it, okay, they come back 30 seconds later and they swipe their hand underneath your arm along the side of your torso, all the way down towards your waist, and then they can reach up and they can push your arm completely down without a struggle. Okay, that is energy manipulation. Okay, that is a biggie. When you see all the kung fu and the martial arts in the movies and stuff, and they're moving their hands and stuff around, that's exactly what they're doing. They're manipulating that energy. They're manipulating their energy field, strengthening theirs in certain parts where they know that they might be vulnerable, or they're trying to limit the opponent's energy field in some way by using their hands. Okay. So, and that's one way that the Asian arts, fighting arts, started out with being the fastest punching arts in the world, because they used pinpoint accuracy instead of, I mean, when you have a 3-inch punch and you can level almost a 300-pound guy and knock him on his butt by holding your fist 3 inches away from his chest and then just releasing the punch, that's power. That's your energy. Okay, that's your energy field being used in that pushing away motion. Okay, and that's what basically is making that 300-pound individual sitting on his butt. Okay, so energy, when you hug people, when you shake hands, it's all the same. Okay, it's depending on how you do it, you could do good or bad manipulation without even knowing it. Okay, and we need to keep that in mind. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. So, anyways, I want to thank everybody tonight for coming on. I'm pretty much fried. And I hope talking tonight a little bit with everybody kind of reassures everybody that I'm still alive, which is good. Um, and I'll be coming back on Friday, me and Eric, hopefully. Well, hopefully, Eric, I don't know if he wants to or not, if it's up to him, um, for Into the Red Rabbit Hole at 11 p.m. Eastern. Until then, I'm probably just going to try and rest and conserve my energy for that show and for Saturday morning. Still not focused on Sunday mornings yet, but I'm going to try and pull off one this weekend too on Sunday morning. So that being said, everybody, thank you all for being here. If you can share this out, I mean, I know it wasn't much, and it's probably not that something that you all just already know. So I mean, just if you can give it thank you, Monisha. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of your kind words and everything. So, I'm like I said, I just took it easy a couple days. Um, when you see that much blood come up from inside you, it kind of upsets you a little bit. So, but it's all right. It'll be all right. So, and where I go after this is a much better place than being here. So I'm not concerned with that aspect of it either. So, but to everybody, I want to thank you. Please like, heart, and share this out. If you can, hit that like button on your way out, because it means a lot to me. That actually helps more than anything. That and then check the notification icon to make sure you're getting notified. And I will see everybody at 11 p.m. Eastern Friday night. And I might have a special guest come on, Ghost Dragon, if we can. If you're still listening, you and a certain someone, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Everybody, thank you very much. Love you all. Please like, heart, and share this out. And I will see everybody Friday night. Good night, everybody.
In the dead of night, I hear them whisper. Shadows dance on walls, growing crisper. Echoes of the past, they start to rise. Monsters lurking deep beneath the skies. Fear grips my heart. I can't escape. Bump in the night, where the fears collide. Monsters awaken, nowhere to hide. Shadows are calling, they beckon me near. In the dance of the dark, I feel no fear. Moonlight reveals the horrors unseen. Whispers of darkness haunting my dream. Figures that twist in the corners of sight. I shiver alone in the grip of the night. Creatures of shadow